This brand new episode is brought to you by our fantastic patrons. To become a patron, head over to patreon.com/makeusbetter. This week's executive producers are Nick from Next Level Games in New Jersey, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Sheldon Benedict, Jesse Armstrong, Glocko Schaefer, and David Ray, who is also our latest patron.
Episode 13 of the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my best friend in all the land, Toby Thornton. What is up, Toby?
Hey, Bobby. Hey, look. What do you think of my Mario Maker t-shirt? What do you think?
That's not Mario Maker.
You love Mario Maker.
That's not Mario Maker.
Yes, it is, Bobby.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, if you look closely, he's made up of Mario Maker parts.
I don't like it at all, Toby.
Like, his naked body on the front.
You have a blasphemous shirt on right now.
These are all, like, question blocks on here.
Yeah.
There's, like, underwater parts for all of his lovely blue spikes.
He is hot trash.
You're hot trash, Bobby.
You know what? You better watch yourself. I can make you disappear real quick.
Oh, threats! Online threats from the guru.
Man, how you been, man?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of your P. I think it was P's recording of the
Rocket League. Yeah, made me want to play it again.
Did anybody have any footage of the night that I played with you guys?
Were
you guys recording?
Yeah, I think it might be up on the channel.
Really? I gotta check. I gotta look. There's 3 videos up. What is it? SXHB?
That's it. SXHB.
Yeah, SXHB is the channel. Check it out. You'll see some footage of there's all kinds of stuff over there. I did the stream.
Bobby. I've just spotted you've got a Mario Rabbids behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I want that. I want that so bad.
Dude, we'll get into it. So let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs.
Geek Outs. It's time for Geek Outs.
What is wrong with you? You're so...
Sean deflates me, man, because he's like so energetic and over the top, and I can't hold a candle to it, so I just feel like I might just not even try.
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. Anyway, I'll go first. So the Mario Rabbids up over my head, as you can see, it's a full-scale statue.
That's the larger one, then?
It's the larger ones, yeah. It's about 4 inches. Really nice. Like, really nice. So yesterday, Tony calls me, or Tony's like, I was streaming Mario Rabbids the other day, right, on YouTube. And while we were playing, Tony's like, man, I really like that game. I want that game. He's like, you need to buy it for me before I go to Disney.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll get it for you. No big deal. And then, so yesterday, because they're not they left already, but they weren't leaving until Sunday. She says to me, so I'm going to Best Buy at like 11:30. Do you want to meet me over there? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I go over there at 11:30, and I'm there before her. And I go to the back, and I'm looking for Mario Rabbids. They were sold out.
Yeah.
And I look down, and I see the Mario Rabbids statue. And I was like, oh, I got to get that. I got to get that. So I pick it up. Then I saw this little baby here, and I had to buy this one as well. So for those that can't see, it's the first 4 figures Link from Breath of the Wild.
I want that so badly.
It is so awesome. It's like the Archer Link from Breath of the Wild.
It's gorgeous.
It's so detailed. It is so amazing. I love it. So now, right, I'm sitting there. I also bought a Minecraft Story. So I'm holding these 2 big boxes in my hand with Minecraft Story, and I'm waiting for Tony to show up. So she comes in, we go up front, we buy what we're going to get, like she gets what she's going to get and all that stuff. And I'm sitting at the register, and I go, man, they also had another one there, another Mario Rabbids one. And she's like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go get it. So I run in the back. I run back to the back, and I bought this little baby, too.
Oh, so, look at that.
This is the Yoshi Mario Rabbids.
Oh, my God, man.
It is phenomenal, man. There is so much detail in these things.
Dude, that looks so good.
When they first announced them, I was like, yeah, these things are stupid. Who would buy these? These things are awesome. They're like really, really cool. And so much detail.
The thing is, once, like, I felt the same. Like, when I saw them, I was like, not really interested. But when you're actually playing the game and the characters have got their personality and everything, they come to life. They're like real characters.
Yeah,
and
man.
That's why I want the statues.
They are so cool. They are so amazing. Like so there's 2 left that I'm gonna buy. I went to the UB store yesterday. They're still available up on the website. They're $40 each, which really isn't that bad. I mean, for the quality and the size of them and the bulk, I'm like, yeah, because you could buy the little figures. The little figures about this big, and they're like $20, and I'm like, dude, I'd rather get these full size statues instead. The Mario Rabbid one is back over there. Really cool, man. Really, really cool. What I was thinking, I was going to put Link there, and then put Mario Rabbid on the top upper shelf above him.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, but it is, so much love, man. So much love. Dude, I dropped so much money this weekend.
So did you actually end up getting Rabbids for Tony or not?
Yes. We left. We went to Toys R Us, and then we picked up Mario Rabbids for her, and I picked up Lego City for me.
Yeah, I saw.
So
I thought you swore not to ever buy that game because they didn't fix the load times.
I did, but you know what, man? Since I've been streaming stuff, I'm like, I want some new stuff to play. So, although I kicked myself because I bought it from Toys R Us yesterday for $60 or no, $50. It's on sale today at Best Buy for $23.
Oh, dude, take it back.
I can't. I opened it up.
Take it back. It doesn't matter. Take it back.
I don't know if they'll give me the money back because I opened it.
Try it, man.
I think I threw the.
That's a lot of money to save.
Yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'll think about it today. Well, who knows? I'm just ready to start playing some stuff. So anyway, what are you geeking out about?
I'm geeking out about the Nindies Showcase, Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That was so good. Like, you know, there was a few stinkers in there, you know, that weren't in the previous one. Like, Mum hid my game. Like, I understand they're giving love to, like, new developers on their platform and stuff. But I think some games are just better left just appearing on the eShop with no promotion from Nintendo. Like, because, you know, those Find Me games or your search games, like Escape the Room type stuff like that, like, I don't know, man. They seem just a bit like shovelware.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But the games that I did think were amazing looking is Golf Story, the golf RPG with 16-bit sprites. That looks amazing. Real unique sort of take on RPG genre. Dig 2, obviously, and I got a release date. Super excited.
Oh, so close too.
There was that weird 3D one called Malaka. It was like adventure action game where you played. I don't know, like weird looking, but you know, it looks unique. And the one that I know that you weren't that impressed by, but the elephant one, Yono and the Celestial Elephant.
Yeah, that one didn't. Yeah, that didn't impress me.
I think that looks like a Zelda game.
Yeah, you know what'll happen is because here's the thing, man. They hit you with so much so quick. Sometimes you're watching and it's like, it takes a minute for it to sink in a little bit.
Yeah.
And by the time you start to realize like what it was, you're already on to the next thing. So
okay.
I'll go back. I'll spend a little time watching it and checking it out and stuff. And like I don't. I'm surprised that It'll Do 2 wasn't on there. I'm surprised Mutant Mudds wasn't on there.
But I think most of the games are brand new games, right?
Well,
whereas It'll Do 2 is not a brand new game. Like it's new for Nintendo, but like
that's true. That's true.
I mean, you know, also what I liked about the Nindy Showcase was Nintendo are super good at making their wording very clear about exclusives.
Yes.
There's no confusion like there is with Xbox and that. You know that they say it's either like coming first to Nintendo,
Yep.
or it's outright exclusive, or it's a console
Yeah.
exclusive. Like very clear. Like there's
Well,
no. I'm not sure about this.
A
Like
couple days following, I was listening to NBC the other day, and they were saying that there was a few of them that they listed as coming first to Nintendo, and the developers later were like, no, 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 that's not true. It's coming to all parties, all platforms, day and date.
all right.
And then I think Super Meat Boy was one. Super Meat Boy
Well,
basically came out and said, like, we haven't even, like, it's going to all platforms, and we haven't determined, like, who gets what first and when it hits first. So
when is that Meat Boy game out? Because I saw it was announced for Sony in 2018, but I wasn't sure if it was out this year for Nintendo.
I thought it was 2018 for all across the board.
I don't
have to go
know,
back
but
and watch, but
the thing is, like this showcase, like who knows when they filmed it? They could have filmed it months ago before a decision was made, and maybe at the time it was a console exclusive,
Possibly.
like or a launch exclusive.
I like what they're doing with the indies. I like the whole presentation. I like it's a little different. I wish we would get some more of the Nindy, like not Nindies, but I wish we would get more of the directs. We haven't had a direct in a while. It's funny because I was sitting there thinking like the other day, like, man, we're due for a direct, and then this hits, and I was like, well, I guess this is okay. You know what I mean? But like, I would really, really love them to do something. But then again, like we're getting so much information out of these cons, like Gamescom.
Yeah.
Gamescom, they just got a whole bunch of stuff that came out of that, and then now they're in PAX West, and there's a lot of stuff coming out of PAX West, and then you have Tokyo Game Show coming up in a couple weeks, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out of that, and it's like it's crazy right now, like the amount of shows and everything that's going on, like it's really there's so much information coming at us. It's just it's nuts. And
that's a good segue, Bobby.
It is a good segue. It is a good segue. So go ahead, Toby. What do you got for us today?
So the first topic it will be from me. It'll be a PlayStation topic. So talking of all these different conferences and shows, Sony just announced they're doing a conference at the Tokyo Game Show. People are getting excited about it. Alan sent me a link saying that people think because of this patent they might be unveiling a Vita 2. I don't buy that for a second. Like that patent I saw months ago, and I think that's just nonsense. But anyway, like the topic is so Sony tend to have a lot of these conferences and shows, and they tend to show a lot of the same games over and over again. They have extended like playthroughs of games that we saw the previous E3 or whatever, and people get a bit tired of seeing it. And like this year's E3, there wasn't too many new announcements from Sony.
Yeah.
So I think like, would it be more beneficial to Sony and its fans if they did less of these big shows, but they announced more new stuff? So they saved the new stuff for any shows that they do, and any extended plays they just put on YouTube, or they get developers to go to IGN or whatever. Like,
okay, so for me, I feel like what they're doing. So, okay, in the United States, the two big ones are E3, PlayStation Experience. They're the big ones, right? Now they're talking about doing one in Tokyo Game Show. They're talking about the Gamescom one. They did one. I feel like they're trying to cater to all parties, meaning the stuff they show in Japan, it would make sense that it's the same. Or at least the press conference would kind of be the same, because it's more or less like, hey, this is catered to you. This is what we're, because if you think about it, like when we get a direct, Nintendo does 3 directs. You know what I mean? And spaces, sometimes they're all at the same time. Sometimes they space them a little bit. Depends on what they're doing. It's rare that they do like one. You know what I mean? But like when you think about it, like, so they did the one press conference for E3. You guys didn't get a separate press conference. You got the same press conference.
yeah,
Japan didn't get a separate press conference when we did E3. They got the same as us. Now, and the weird thing about that is, like, you guys watch that, and then it's got to be confusing to you because the stuff that comes out is all United States based, like North America based.
Yeah, a lot of the prices and dates we have to like double check, or
and even check if it's even coming. You know what I mean? Like, it may not come. Like, here's an example. Like, so the Metroid the Metroid 2-pack I mean, is. I don't know if it was ever finally announced if you guys are getting a 2-pack, but up to that point, like the UK, Europe really never got 2-packs. You guys basically, or the 3-packs, you guys got individual all the time. So that's something that they, you know what I mean? So like when you see that stuff, it's like, oh, okay. One, are we definitely getting it? Two, what's it come? You know, how's the way it going? So in the terms of Sony, I kind of get, and I'm okay with what they're doing, because they're trying to like not leave people out. If they were so presumptuous to go, hey, we're just going to do 2 cons, and it's PSX, which absolutely makes sense, and E3, this is it, and then we don't acknowledge anybody else, I would probably, honestly, almost say drop E3 if I was Sony. But then again, I understand they're bookending the two. And the reason why I say that is because it feels like they hold stuff back from E3 to show it PSX.
Yeah, they do. I absolutely believe that.
So, for me, if I look at the 2 shows, right, this is something Nintendo did a long time ago. They've left the stage area at E3. They're talking directly to the fans. PSX is a bigger show for Sony because it's their fans. They're going to get bigger pops. They're going to get bigger, more excitement, more of a frenzy coming out of PSX. So for me, if I'm running Sony and I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, we need to drop 1 show this year, I personally would drop E3. I would drop E3. I would do PSX. I would do Gamescom, and then I would do Tokyo Game Show, and then
what about Paris Games Week? That's one that I think is a bit pointless.
Yeah, that's one, but I mean that's basically the same as Gamescom, isn't it?
I'm not sure if it's a public event like Gamescom. I don't really know too much about it, but they are doing a show there, and it's like, you know, I understand what you're saying about the different audiences. Like they've got the ones E3 and PSX for the American fans. They've got Tokyo Game Show for the Japanese audience, and then they've got the European ones, Gamescom and Paris Games Week. So that does seem like they're covering all regions pretty much. Like, but I do feel like maybe they could benefit from just saving like a lot of these extended play, like, you know, like Days Gone at E3. Like that was fine what we saw, but it was nothing new to really what we saw before.
Yeah.
And the same with God of War. Like that went on for a bit, and it was like nothing really new. I think stuff like that, they should do their own online direct thing like Nintendo does, and it can be like a showcase for their big upcoming games, like extended looks at them, rather than wasting stage time. Because, you know, maybe just not have their shows go on for that long.
Well, because I feel like in 6 months, well, because they basically need these things because they don't do directs, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they would need to have something else to replace
They would have to have a gap fill, you know what I mean, to some degree.
Yeah.
They have the PlayStation blog, but I don't know if that's really what people... I don't know if people are really reading it.
I don't even look at that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know that people actually go in there to read and check out stuff that are coming in the future.
Yeah.
But they need to do something in those regards, whether it be a podcast, a small video show, like... Even like Nintendo Minute is a decent little thing to like catch up on some little news things.
Well, yeah.
Some you know, like... I'm surprised they haven't went the way of the directs and like basically just ripped that off and made their own thing. I'm surprised Microsoft hasn't as well, honestly. That just blows me away.
What would Microsoft even talk about at the moment?
Games. They could be talking about Scorpio stuff, and I'm just saying, like,
about Scorpio.
I'm just saying, like, I'm surprised both companies haven't followed suit. They typically follow suit with a lot of what Nintendo does. I mean, Nintendo started Treehouse Live stuff at E3. Now they all do it. You know what I mean? Like they spend days with their own little thing there, and it's like, so they're all following suit. You know what I mean? The difference is they still do the huge big production for. I don't know. It's as I'm talking and I'm thinking, like, I'm like, man, but do you really want to get rid of E3? And I mean, you definitely keep PSX. That's just massive.
Yeah.
It's turning into something
And then
massive
there's
now.
the Game Awards as well. Like they show up there, and
Yeah,
sometimes
but
they
they
have
don't.
new
I mean, everybody shows up
they
there.
yeah, but I'm saying sometimes they blow a couple of new announcements there, and it's like
Yeah.
maybe they should save new announcements for E3 like that.
Well, you also got to think like that. PSX is also butted right up against the games.
Well, yeah, it's
Too.
like days before, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like a day before, whatever. So I don't agree with. I think that's fine. I mean, because not only that, like Sony doesn't themselves do exclusives there or break news. Like it's basically, I mean, they did with the Kojima stuff. I think the 1 year, but that's because him and Jeff Keighley got this weird relationship going on there, and it's and that is what it is. I think they're doing the right thing, honestly, when I look at it. Like, they're in a hole right now. I don't want to say a hole, because that's a bad word. A rut, I would say. Because right now you have all the focus is really on Microsoft and Nintendo. So I don't think it hurts them to do additional stuff right now. Just to keep themselves in the forefront, because if they don't do something, those other two are just going to swallow them up.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like we're sort of mid-generation, and it's sort of they're like going through the motions. Like they've got no sort of big new hardware coming that we know about. I know that the Pro just came out, and so did VR, but they're not like as exciting to me, at least, as like a new console or a new handheld. Like, so they're sort of just putting out their games and they're bringing in their exclusives, but I don't know, like it's starting to feel a bit samey to me.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what I say. It feels like they're in a rut. They're not showing anything new. They're not doing anything new. It's a lot of the same stuff that we already saw. Like this E3, I didn't feel like any of the big three won this E3. I had said like I felt Ubisoft had won it all. Yeah. And then I would say that Nintendo was probably second or third, with a flip flop of Microsoft could go in there. And then I felt like Sony was after that.
Definitely.
I just felt like Sony was boring. And
they're playing it too safe.
That's what I feel like. I don't feel like they're playing too safe. I feel like they held stuff back because they're trying to put it out at PSX.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, if you're holding things back to show it at PSX, well then don't have an E3. Like, just
but then it's so hard to say that, because people say that E3 is like the biggest place for all, like everyone gets together.
The media says that.
No, the whole game industry.
I'm not saying
Bobby.
don't go. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying don't do a stage presence.
Well, but then they'd just be giving it all to Microsoft. Then it's like,
so
I don't
what?
know.
Well,
especially since they just opened it up to the public as well. Like,
or do something like, okay, so if they go to E3, right, and they just did like a video presentation or something smaller on the stage.
You know what they need to do, Bobby? They need to bring out another handheld, right? They should have, this is probably a really bad idea, but they should have E3 should be all their console games and PSX should be all their handheld games.
Well,
do something crazy like that.
If that's the case, then they should do VR should be E3 and PSX should be the console.
Well,
game.
yeah,
but they're very
get rid of VR.
They're very wishy-washy when it comes to that stuff. Like they bail on stuff really quick.
They do.
It wasn't long before they bailed on Vita. People are like you talked about Alan earlier, clamoring about a Vita 2. I don't see a Vita 2 coming. I really don't. If a Vita 2 comes, like I think it might be a lot of. They might be trying to go after the Switch market a little bit. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, they could be doing something like, hey, you can connect your PS4 controller to it, and you'll stream, via Wi-Fi or whatever, and that's just not good enough, honestly. Like, your PSN network is not strong in terms of, like, internet gameplay. So that's always going to be an issue to go from the PS4 to the Vita and all that. And so I don't know, man. I do see them trying to step in and steal some of that Switch thunder right now. But I think Microsoft is trying to figure out how to do that too right now, because like I said, Switch is a bit of a juggernaut at the moment, and they're selling like gangbusters and stuff. But at the end of the day, I guess we'll see. But to go back to the original question, I'm not really sure I just think they're doing fine. Just they should leave it as it is. They need the momentum. They need to stay in the forefront. If they pull back now, they're basically saying to Microsoft and Nintendo, "Go ahead." You know what I mean? Like they have to stay relevant. They have to stay in the forefront. This is just a year that they don't have a lot to say.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes. Like Nintendo had 2 years of that, leading in, and now it's just like they're saying so much now, and it's just crazy to see. But we'll see. I think they're doing a good job. Okay, so for my topic, with the announcement of additional Shovel Knight Amiibo coming, which was a shocker to me, I never saw that one coming at all. What other third parties or indie developed IP do you wish would get the Amiibo treatment? Before we jump into that, so did you get the Shovel Knight Amiibo originally?
Yeah, I customized it.
That's right, you did, didn't you? So what's your thoughts on these three?
I think they look nice. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Really nice.
Are you happy with the choice of characters?
Yeah.
I think it blew me out of the water, man. It really did. I did not see this coming. I wasn't
expecting it. Yeah.
And especially a 3-pack, I was like, oh my god, dude, this is awesome. The Game Grumps thing was a little over the top. It was kind of funny. Well,
Game Grumps, they announced the original Shovel Knight one. They got a bit of a friendship going with Yacht Club.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, Yacht Club doesn't need Game Grumps in order to announce these things because they're a juggernaut on their own line. But it's good to see that they stuck with Game Grumps and all that. I thought it was kind of funny. It was at first I was like, what the hell is happening here? This is just strange. And then I just started laughing because I realized what they were doing, and I was like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I'll throw it to you first. Like, what is one? We're gonna go through a couple of them, obviously, but what is your first one that you would?
So we've had this conversation a few times before on a couple of podcasts, but my number one that I've got might be on your list. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just because I'm feeling the wiggle right now.
Oh, but Lord.
I would love a chicken wiggle amiibo. I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Mark brought it up to Jules the other day. And
but
on the Warp Whistle podcast, Jules Watcham was on there for an interview, and Mark brought it up to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd like that too," but
Yeah, it's very expensive to sort all that out.
And I don't think Jules is a big enough studio to even try it. I
mean, there's bigger indie developers that haven't done it. Obviously, they can't. It's not financially viable. But that's a dream. I just think the character's really cool, and it is that sort of Banjo-Kazooie thing where you got two characters in one. You could create a cool pose with it. You could have the one with the superhero costume, the blue one with the mask, and I don't know. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Well, I didn't have that one on there, but I did have one from Jules. I would love Max from Mutant Mudds. Yeah, that would be my dream character because I love that character. I love that game. So that would be one that I would definitely want to see.
Cool.
What's your
all of my picks are just indie ones because I think about third party stuff. Everyone makes mature games. All the big third party developers, you can't imagine an Assassin's Creed amiibo or anything like that. So anyway, Way Forward are one of my favorite indie developers. I think they make really good games and they have really good characters. And I think it'd be really cool if we got a Shantae amiibo.
Shantae is on my list as well. I agree. I think that she fits perfectly in the mold.
Definitely.
Very cartoony, very, very cool. I would definitely, and she has a huge fan base, I feel. Yeah. So I would definitely like to see them do a Shantae one. What's your...
Actually, you know what? Speaking about my thing about mature characters, some of the Smash line have mature characters.
Yeah, absolutely. Bayonetta.
You got Bayonetta, you got Cloud, and you've got Ryu from Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. So it's maybe I'm talking out my butt. I don't know. I'd like to see more Street Fighter characters, actually.
Okay.
You know what? There was a new character that was just announced for Street Fighter. She's this Egyptian sort of lady. I think her name's... I've got it written down here. Do I have it written down? No, I don't. But it gives with an M. But anyway, she looks so cool. And
That's
I
awesome.
think she'd make a great character.
So I would go with the Steam World 3-pack. And I would do Rusty, Dorothy, and Captain Piper.
Ooh.
And
You're getting my juices flowing, Bobby.
Oh, man, I would love to have that because I would just be like, oh, yes.
You're making very sexual noises there, Bobby.
Just saying, man. We can have some fun with that. But no, I mean, obviously, I went out and got a Rusty commission because I wanted one so badly, and I would love to see them do something along that lines. Like that would be phenomenal for me. Like I would freak out if that ever happened. So, and I love Captain Piper in SteamWorld Heist. I'm liking the Dorothy character in Dig 2, so it's kind of interesting to see what they're going to do. So
yeah.
What's another one you might have?
Ukulele.
Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that one. Yeah, you're right. That would.
And you know what? I can see that actually happening, like Shovel Knight did. You know?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think when you look at ukulele, that's definitely one that's like, again, fits the Shantae role, like very cartoony, very very.
Because we'll never get banjo, but we can get ukulele.
That's true. This is true. This is very true. Well, you never know. Like if now that Microsoft and Nintendo are kind of playing nice, like maybe banjo shows up in Smash.
Could you imagine?
Could you imagine that, man? Yeah. Phil Spencer did say, like, hey.
You know what? Microsoft seems to be giving away a lot of their stuff lately. So
you never know, man. You never know.
Never know.
I had Simon Belmont from Castlevania.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I would love to have
not that relevant anymore.
Not that relevant anymore, but I love Simon Belmont for some reason. Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun. Another one that I thought was to kind of go off of, because when I thought of like, okay, what they did here was they took one that they already did and then they did a follow-up one or follow-up 3. I would love to see them do Cutman from Mega Man. That would be a cool one to do a follow-up of.
What about classic Solid Snake?
Dude,
he was in Smash.
He was in Smash Brawl. Dude, I would have loved. Someone did a mock-up of a custom or something, or did a custom where he was coming out from under the box. And dude, I would give anything to get that one. That was just so cool.
So the new rumor about Final Fantasy 15. We don't know what. Like the developer is basically working on something Switch related. What about the characters, whether it's chibi characters or the actual characters from Final Fantasy 15? Are cool. They, they wear a lot of black, and they look very similar to each other. So, I don't know if that would be a good choice or not.
I don't know if that would be a good choice. If they went the chibi route, then I would say
chibi route,
then I would say yes. If they went the serious route, then I would say now. Because you look at Cloud. Cloud's kind of like,
And I would say maybe Secret of Mana characters, but that's not coming to Switch, so we won't talk about that.
Well, it's coming to SNES Classic, so,
Yeah.
I got one final one, and I think this is one that nobody would see coming, and I was just doing fantasy now. This is just one that if I could have it, I would love it. I would want it, please. But it'll never...
Toby amiibo.
Please. It would never happen. And I got
official Toby.
Peach Rabbit Toby? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, Peach Rabbit.
Oh dear. I would love a 3. This is another 3-pack, right?
Right.
Mind you, Joel, Ellie, and a clicker.
Yeah, this is dream scenario.
Oh, it's dream scenario all the way. But like, if you're saying to me like you can have one. Like, we'll do amiibo of anything you want, Bobby. What do you want? That would be the one that I would go, man, give me that one. I love
just
those
buy
characters.
Statues of them.
What's
you
that?
Probably get you can probably get statues of them.
Possibly,
right?
But I just, I'm thinking, like, if we could get amiibo, like, I would love to get those.
What would their functionality be in a game? Like
it would be like, here you go.
Would Mario in Mario Kart have mushrooms growing out of his hair?
That would be cool, but no. If you were playing like Splatoon 2 and you scanned them in, maybe it unlocked, Salmon Run.
Mm-hmm.
or something where you can go play Salmon Run for an hour or two or something like that. Like, it'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Because Salmon Run is kind of like zombie-esque. Like, it's these little weird things coming after you and wave after wave after wave.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't need functionality for these things, Toby. You know that.
Well, that's what makes them Amiibo, isn't it?
I barely use the functionality in them.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's the base.
I did use it in Mario Rabbids, but whatever. Yeah. That's neither here nor there. Okay, so let's jump into hot off the presses. This is where Toby brings 3 Sony stories. I bring 3 Nintendo stories, and then he picks the Nintendo story he wants to hear. I pick the Sony story I want to hear. Toby, go ahead. What do you got for me?
Story number 1. Xbox is losing even more exclusives. Story number 2. PS Plus for September. Story number 3. Fans love the new Street Fighter character.
The Street Fighter character you don't even know the name of. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's in the article, Bobby. Come on.
Let's go PlayStation.
Come on, let's go for number 1.
You want to go number 1? All right, we'll go number 1.
We'll go number 1. That's the one I want to talk about.
Okay,
Bobby.
go ahead.
Yeah, so Xbox One exclusive Dead Rising 4 will be gift wrapped and dropped down the PlayStation 4's chimney this Christmas. It's coming to PlayStation 4, Bobby.
Who makes it?
Who makes it? I don't know who makes it, Bobby.
Well, who said? Okay. So who said it was going to be an exclusive to Xbox?
Well, it was Xbox. When it was out, boy, it was an Xbox game.
Yeah, but that's
But the thing is, currently it's an Xbox One exclusive, but it won't be, not anymore.
You know what, man? Here's the thing. I'm so over the whole exclusive, non-exclusive, all that stuff. Like, it's all minute.
I'm just saying, Bobby.
I know.
There's even less of a reason to own an Xbox because one of their big exclusive games is not exclusive anymore. I know it's probably on PC like every other Xbox exclusive, but now it's coming to PS4, and it's like maybe Halo will be in PS4 next. Who knows? It won't. It won't be. It won't be.
See, now you're being just a tool bag. You know what, then, Mr. Xbox One over there? Don't talk trash. Like you bought one, so
yeah, I bought one for a game that's a timed exclusive.
What game?
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. That's coming first to Xbox.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, I'm not digging the Xbox. I like the Xbox. It's great. Good console. I'm just saying that, yeah, it's interesting that games that are touted as exclusive on one console, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will remain that way.
Well, that's the key. I mean, look, you could say that about Nintendo as well. I mean, if you think about it, like Zombie U, that was a Wii U exclusive, and then that eventually got broken off and taken
Classic example, Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
It was meant to be a GameCube exclusive, and then months later, suddenly it's coming to PS2. And it's like...
I think the thing it is, that what happens is these guys, they don't sell enough copies.
Yeah, and maybe there's something in the contract that says we will remain exclusive for this period of time unless we don't sell enough copies. And if we don't, then it's no longer exclusive. So.
I mean, because you think about it, like Shovel Knight started out as an exclusive to Nintendo, and then boom, it went elsewhere. SteamWorld Dig started out exclusive to Nintendo, and it's and then it went out. I don't think at the same time, like sometimes they come out on consoles because it's easier for them to put them out on a console. Indie developers are a little bit different. Like indie developers, they'll put stuff out on a console because sometimes they don't have the ability to go multi-platform same day because they're just not big enough to have people working. And plus, the other thing is like the QA process. Yeah, because I was listening to a few weeks ago on NBC, Jeremy Dunham was on there, and they were talking about Rocket League, and he was like, it's very difficult because the process for each company takes a different amount of time. So if we go to do a patch or an update and we want it to hit across all three, we have to time it out to go like, okay, Xbox takes 3 weeks, we got to send it now. And now Sony goes in 2 weeks, we got to send it next week. And Nintendo takes, whatever. And then So in order to do it all, it's kind of interesting. And they said the easiest one to work with is Steam, because Steam, they just go in and go, okay, we're going to update, and they just put it through and it gets updated.
Yeah.
Everybody else has to go through QA and all that stuff. So
Steam is the Wild West.
It pretty much is, man. It pretty much is. Like they get all the indie games. Like everything goes there
because it's just easy. It's developed on PC for PC.
Yeah,
like, that's what they
test it. There's no limitations. They can do whatever they want to do. Like that that makes total sense to go to PC whenever they do stuff. So so my topics are Splatfest future event, 2K release dates and info, and Square Enix info.
Oh, Square Enix.
Okay, so Square Enix is saying that at the Tokyo Game Show, the 23rd of September, they will announce more about Project Octopath Traveler, meaning they're going to actually show off some gameplay footage and talk about it.
Do you think that's the real name? Or do you think they're going to announce a proper name for it?
Seems like it's the name, so we'll see. I don't know.
Bizarre.
They have weird names, like Bravely Default. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, they got weird names. But the thing of it is like the developers on this, or the two leads on this game, also worked on Bravely Default. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Also, they will be holding a Lost Sphere Let's Play to show off more of the game.
Cool.
More of the game, which that game looks really good.
I'm excited for that one.
Tokyo RPG Factory.
Yeah.
I love that company, man. Those guys are crushing it. Lastly, they seem to be going back on their word of having Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch. As they have been testing specs and the game engine on and the Switch, it doesn't seem as stable or it doesn't be able to maintain stability on the Switch.
Well, they never technically said they would.
No.
They were teasing something Final Fantasy 15 related.
Yeah.
So,
and for me, it's like, well, you still have the mobile game that could come.
Yeah.
Like, they could basically turn that game into the mobile version and then go, here it is. Look at it. It's neither here nor there for me. When I look at what Final Fantasy 15 is, to me, it's more of a Monster Hunter game than a Final Fantasy game. So
I've heard that, yeah.
If it comes, I'll be excited for it. If it doesn't come, I won't lose any sleep over it. It's no big deal. The only reason I would get excited for it is because I was not able to put the proper time into it on the PS4. I just don't have the time to play RPGs in one location. I need to have the ability to play it on the go, and when I go places, take it with me to like knock out little things. You know, like a lot of my time I put into Zelda was put in on lunch breaks and stuff. You know, so that being said, I can't see myself devoting a lot of time like sitting on the on my chair over there playing on the TV. Makes it difficult. And if you miss a couple days, all of a sudden you start to forget where you're at, the what's going on, and it's too difficult to do. So we'll see. I'm a little excited for it, but if it happens, I really like the chibi version of it. I'll be honest with you. Like, I love the art style in those characters. I thought it was kind of cute. And
what I've heard though is that the cutscenes feature the original voice acting and everything.
Yes, they do.
And it's like, does that really fit with the chibi style?
When I watched it, it looked fine to me.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I watched the trailer. It's in the trailer. It looked fine to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
take your word for it.
I don't complain about stuff. Give me what you're gonna give me. I'll be happy.
You don't complain about you complain, Bobby.
I'm a lovable soul, Toby. I just love everything.
In your dreams, Bobby.
Right now, we're gonna jump into something a little different. We're gonna do our first impressions of Mario plus Rabbids, the Magic Kingdom. Is that what it is?
Kingdom Battle. This ain't Disney, Bobby. Come on.
Whatever, man. The Magic Kingdom. Yeah, no. Okay, so we both got this game this week. Did you get it launch day or did you get it after launch day?
I got it launch day. I've just been playing it non-stop, Bobby.
Me too. How far along are you?
So I completed the second world.
Okay, I'm on that.
And I've the desert world. I've also gone back to the first world and done all the challenges.
Okay. The challenges seem a little tough. Is it me?
The medium challenges, there was a couple that I couldn't do right away. I had to come back when I'd leveled up a bit.
I might go back and try it again. I did the easy one, and the first one you go to where it's like
Mm-hmm.
14. You have to kill 14 people, and they're
Yeah.
right there at the thick of things, and I'm like, I can't do it. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not high enough in level. So I'm gonna.
The trick is, I find, is making the most of your turn by, like I do this thing. So my team is Mario. Usually it's Mario, Rabid, Peach, and Peach at the moment. But
I don't have Peach at the moment. So.
but without Peach, then it's Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I start off the round with a power up. So use Mario's power up to make everyone's weapons do more damage. And
See,
then
and I just got that. Got that. So okay.
So then that helps a lot. And then Luigi's power up to give everyone more movement range.
Okay.
And then Rabid Peach, I've leveled up her thing so she can run through 2 enemies on the same turn.
So she can slide and hit one and then slide and hit another.
Yeah, so she can slide,
okay.
She can damage 2 Rabbids, and then she can stop and take a shot. And then Mario can slide into an enemy and then bounce off of Peach, Rabid Peach, or Luigi, and then bounce on somebody's head, because I've unlocked that as well. That does damage.
Got a bunch of stuff you've
unlocked. And then you take a shot or you hit them with a hammer. So like there's basically you got to figure out ways to do as much damage in a single turn as possible.
See, okay, so what I did was I beat level 1, world 1, and then I went right back in. So I didn't have any of the power-ups. Like I'm just now getting, like just last night I got the Mario one where you can I just got, the other thing I just got was with Rabid Peach to hit the health restore, because I didn't have that before, so I was dying so many times on levels.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things. So I'm starting to come through, and I'm starting to learn a little bit too of what these specialties are. Man, this game really, it's weird. Like, so when it first got announced, I think like the entire world was just like,
dubious. Yeah.
What is this? Now, most of the world was just like rage and pitchforks and like, we don't need this, and this is stupid, and this is dumb, and I hate the rabbits. And I'm loving the rabbits. I think they're funny as hell, man. They are hilarious, dude. And I don't want to give spoilers away at all, but like when you beat the boss on level 1, dude, Peach Rabbit just made me laugh.
Yeah, that is so funny.
Hysterically. Like I was just like, did she just do this? Like really? And dude, she is so full of herself and stupid at the same time. Like I love the little quirkiness that they do. Like this is what I love about this game. I was listening yesterday to MVC, and they were saying, because they did like a little quasi first impression as well, and they were saying like the thing about it is like if you took the rabbits out, this game looks and feels like a Mario game, like completely. And the one thing that I would say that I agree with on that is the little quirkiness that they do to the characters, like these little things that make them feel like they're part of the game and they're part of the world, and it's real world type stuff. Is like they have this doofy looking Rabid Peach character that's like all about herself and like over the top, like taking selfies and stuff like that. But in between rounds, she's like leaning against the blocks, with her camera, she's snapping selfies and stuff. It's like, this is hilarious, dude.
What's interesting though is that these rabbits have got so much personality to them that Nintendo just can't do with Mario and Luigi and Peach and that. Yeah. Like Mario's a bit boring on his own. Like he's the everyman. Luigi's a scaredy cat. Peach is all prim and proper. But like they can go all out with the rabbit version.
They can do whatever. Man.
That's what's so fun about it. Yeah. And they Ubisoft has done such a great job at sort of paying homage to the Mario history. Like you go about the levels and you can find things between the matches, between the battles, and you can look at them and you come across so many things that are just nods to classic Mario things, and they poke fun at it here and there, and it's like, that is a bit weird. Like if you think about it, on its own, like I don't know if I can give an example without spoiling anything. I don't want to spoil anything. So basically, they do a real good job with the fan service.
The thing that I love too is like that was what I was going to say. You kind of hit it, was don't rush from area to area.
Yeah,
Take
take
your
your
time. Look around. Dude, there's so much... Like, the funniest thing happened one day. I'm going through, and I hear this, like, weird noise. I'm like, what the heck is that? And then it sounds like a slap. And I'm like...
Yeah.
And there's two
I know what you're
rabbits
talking about,
under
yeah.
the bridge, and they're slap boxing. Like, one slaps the one, and then the other one slaps the other, and it's like they're just hanging on to
and
these...
then they giggle about it.
Yeah, it's like they're hanging on to the beams
Yeah.
of the bridge, and they're slapping each other in the face. It is hilarious. And you go through another section, and there's one like running in circles around. It's like really well done, man. There's a lot of like hidden gems within it that are really, really cute and really awesome.
Yeah, I will say one negative part to the exploration side of it is there's way too much of a reliance on block puzzles, and I like my block puzzles in Zelda, but because none of these characters can jump, they're very restricted in their movement. So I guess like there's not a lot else they could have done. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm not thinking creatively enough, but the block puzzles do get a little bit old after a while.
The block puzzles don't get old for me. I kind of enjoy them. The one thing I'll say about it, though, is that's throwing me off is I keep wanting to push the characters to push the blocks, and I forget that I'm supposed to use the little rabbit.
I know what you mean. Like, I have a problem because the little Roomba is so small that you can't always tell what side of the block he's on. Yeah. Like, it looks like Mario's on the top side, but really the Roomba's on the left, and it's like you push it from the wrong side. So
So that's it. But that you kind of pick that up after a few times. Yeah, it's like, okay, that's no big deal. So that's a very small nitpick.
Yeah, there's not many niggles that I've got with this game, and they are just niggles. Like it has a lot of polish, this game, but they don't have the polish if it was just a Nintendo game.
Yes.
Because Nintendo games, they come out, they very rarely do they have any glitches or any weirdness to them. I found a couple of weird things in this game that I think if this was made purely by Nintendo, it wouldn't have that. There's a bit where I saw it. There's a bit in your stream that I saw, and I came across it, and I noticed it, and I was like, whoa, this is a weird glitch. And I was surprised you didn't notice it on your stream. But there's a bit in the first world, one of the first places you find the chests, and there's one chest that's out to the right on the little cliff bit. You go through a pipe and then you get to it. And if you walk to the right and go to the edge of the cliff and you move forward and backwards, then the clouds, creating shadow on the floor, the clouds start going really weird. Like every time you move, the clouds go zoom, 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 zoom. And it's like a weird like lighting error. And it's like, why are the clouds acting like that? And it's like, it's tiny little, insignificant in the grand scheme of it, but I don't think you would see that if it was a Nintendo game. Like,
you would hope not. You would hope not. Nintendo's pretty good with all that stuff.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm assuming you're recommending that people should get this game.
Oh, this is one of my this is top 10 for me, this game. Like, I love this game so much because I'm a huge fan of strategy games like this. And it's got all the depth that I want, most of the depth that I want. But it's also got the Mario charm and aesthetic. And I'm addicted to it.
The thing for me is, like, I look at this game and I go, this is one that I never saw coming, never asked for, just hit out of left field. And I'm like, man, this thing is like up there in terms of game, like this is definitely like a contender for game of the year in my mind. The only thing that I would probably say is like there's been some complaints about the story's a little short, and I'm only into World 2 at this point, so I don't know.
Man, if the thing is, if you're just like beelining it, not doing any of the extra stuff,
it's quick.
Then I can see it could be quite short, but
okay, so let's go to the. So we both recommend it. We both feel that people should play this.
It's good for kids as well. There's an easy mode. I've not tried it yet, but every time you start a battle, you can press Y to put it in easy mode.
So the question would be, the next question I would throw at you is DLC. Is it something you're interested for this, or are you passing on it?
You know what? Like, I'm on the fence about it. Because it's a season pass thing, and I've heard that some of the DLC is like more co-op maps, I think. I've not tried the co-op yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's story content which I will be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Not really interested in any guns or anything. Because I think the guns that they supply you with, like to buy, are perfectly fine as they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know really. I mean, how do you feel about it?
I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it yesterday because what happened was I started playing. I was like, I really like this game and I want more content, so I'm gonna buy it. And so I bought it yesterday. I bought the season pass. I got the guns. The guns are they're okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you got yours, did you get the pixel guns?
No. I
Okay,
pre-ordered it from Amazon, but I didn't get them.
mine came with a code already in it, and I got the pixel guns. Those weapons are really strong. So I really
Yeah.
the Steam World ones that you got, they're just like, or the steampunk weapons that they gave aren't quite up to snuff to those. So there's really no need to upgrade to those.
Okay.
And the pixel ones are good because when you start the game off, they're there and you can use them. But
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point now where I'm buying weapons that are more powerful than those.
Well, yeah. The weapons I've got now are just out of control. Like,
yeah.
And I'll tell you what, like, some characters, like, I mean, I've mentioned that Peach is in my party. Like, Peach is way cooler than I ever expected. I think this might be the coolest version of Peach I've ever seen in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really representing, like, she is not, don't mess with Peach, basically. Yeah. Like, yeah, she is out of control.
So the final thing I would say with the DLC, though, is so you get the guns, you get them right off Jump Street, they're there. Then the next patch, I think that comes in like a few months, is co-op. It's co-op and solo player maps that you can play and do and all that stuff. Then the third part of it is the storyline. And that's what I'm interested in. And I'm like, you know what? If the extra stuff is all just gravy, I'll just get it and enjoy it and do what I want to do. I want to see.
You can probably buy that individually though. If you just wanted the story,
you could. But you know what, man? I don't know. For me, I feel like the developer is doing something. $20 isn't too much to ask, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get it. I don't know. I felt an urge to give them the money. I felt like they. For me personally, you know this. Yeah. I've been so harsh on Ubi for such a long time, like to the point of hateful comments towards them. Like I've really been down on them, and I feel like they've turned a total 180 on Nintendo, and they've really been supportive. And me personally, I feel like you're doing the right things here, and I want to reward you for that. Like, you reward good behavior in my mind. All they're doing, like, they're keeping their word. This game is amazing, man. It is so much fun. And I'm like, if I'm going to pay $20 for some extra guns, some extra maps, and for storyline, I'm going to do it, because here's the thing. I'm curious, and I don't know if the extra maps, the co-op maps, if we can do them online or if it's strictly co-op.
If it's online, then I'm in. I'll buy it.
I'm going to check. I'm going to look and see.
I'd love to do online co-op.
I'd love to do online with this. This would be so cool, man.
Yeah.
So cool. It'd be awesome just to be like, hey, Toby, let's tackle some matches. You know what I mean?
Man.
But I don't think it is online. But it would be awesome if it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, do you have anything else to say about Mario Rabbids?
So the skill tree, I would like it to be a bit deeper. And I feel like, although there are some differences, I think, between each character, generally most of it's the same stuff.
I feel like it's the same between the Rabbids and their counterpart.
Yeah,
but it's different from character to character.
So I feel like it would be better if each character had their own unique skill tree, because that way the characters, they have unique abilities, and that's really what separates them from each other. Yeah. But I'd like to see more diversity in each character type, basically.
Yeah. So, okay. So, again, I feel like everybody should go get this game. I feel like this game is really phenomenal. You're basically the same mindset.
I can't stop playing it, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm wanting to play now. I'm like,
I wonder what my playtime is already. I'll have to look.
I know. Well, you won't know for like 10 days, so it'll take a little bit.
Okay.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to us on iTunes, dayspace.com, Google Play. check us out on YouTube, where you can see the video version of this show. Follow us. You can follow Toby at Toby's_take. You can follow me at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
See you later, guys.